Welcome to Sunday Brunch with Black Tea. I'm Miko.
I'm Candace.
I'm Lynn.
And we are your Sunday Brunch team here again to bring you another awesome show today. Today we're going to get a little bit in on how we are going to, we talked a little bit before about how you plan an event.
Yeah.
We had a show before about how you plan an event. Today we're going to actually go through the steps of putting together an event. Now, the reason why we're going to do it today and do this show today is because we're going to be having, Black Tea is actually hosting our very first social networking marketing event on October 30th.
That's right there, one more good time.
A social networking marketing event.
Okay.
And that's all because it's all in together. You know, we're there for social, mingling.
Yes.
We're there for marketing.
Yes.
And we're there to definitely network.
Definitely
network. That's what it's all about. Right. It's so important, you know. And we're gonna bring our friends and family and bring that, the public in. Yes. Let them get the opportunity to meet and see some of our wonderful businesses that are gonna come and showcase their work, sell their work, and all of that good stuff. We're also gonna have a few people there that's gonna talk about, what they have going on. They might not have anything to sell, but they may have services that they can offer you, So we're gonna have a really awesome time, guys. So mark your calendars. October 13th is when we're gonna have this event here in LA. Location is coming soon, so to be determined. Yes. So keep checking back with us, making sure you check the Instagram page so you can see what's going on, what's happening, and the website. I'll let you know where it's gonna be, what time, and how to actually get a ticket for this event. Actually, it's gonna be free to the public, so that's gonna be a good thing.
I love that.
That's gonna be a good thing. It's gonna be.
I think everybody else gonna love that too.
Yeah, so you can come and enjoy yourself and all of that good stuff. So mark your calendars, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you can stay on point and up to date with everything that's going on. So hit that button down there, that share button, hit that like button at the bottom, and also subscribe to this, because every time we come on, from now until October 13th, we're going to definitely talk about the event. Okay, so today's show, we're going to start taking you guys on our journey through planning of this event. How you plan. This will actually help you plan your own event when it's time
big
for
or small.
Big or small. We're hoping for this one to be a big one though, right? Right? But before we jump into that, guys, we gotta go ahead and talk about this wonderful brunch that
My favorite part.
It would be. Best part of the day.
So today we had something that definitely you can use at any kind of event. Now everybody wants to have the taco man at the event. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants the taco truck, the taco man, or whatever the case. But this what we did here were mini tostadas. Mini tostadas.
Delicioso.
Very good. So basically, we had our ground turkey, but what we did was we had a chipotle seasoning to that. Give it a little pop. I'm not chipotle, Cajun. I'm sorry, guys. I'm stuck on chipotle.
You do like that chipotle. She likes to say it. She likes to say that word.
Cajun. Excuse me, guys.
Cajun.
We're not gonna edit out our bloopers.
Oh no.
We had Cajun taco seasoning on the taco meat, on the meat, ground turkey. We topped it off with some shredded lettuce. Excuse the way I say that, but shredded. We had some fine diced tomatoes. You want to dice them kind of small because you don't want them to take overpower, right?
And then salsa.
Right. Top it off with a little bit of salsa and a dollop of cream cheese for those who like it.
Optional. It's optional.
Something right with me today, y'all.
She gonna get it good. She doesn't even drink this, guys. She hasn't even touched it.
Barely have one scotch yet. A dollop of sour cream for those who like it. If you don't like it, just omit it. Just omit it.
I'll omit it, and I like a little guac with mine.
It's all good. There you go. You can pretty much top it off with whatever you want. You can add guacamole, you can put cilantro, some lemon, jalapenos, anything you like, hot sauce, anything you like. But it's they're small. They're easy for you to eat and hold and everything. If you're at an event,
no different than tacos.
No different, and you don't have to worry about the whole taco thing.
Like you said, what I like about it is pre-made. And to your point, you can do different toppings. You have a group of 20. You can do 5 toppings with one thing. 5 with another. And then people can pick and choose what they want.
Right. And the other good thing about it too is you can do a build your own.
That's what we're talking about.
You can do a build your own. A tostada bar. Right. You can do a build your own.
I know y'all talking my language. Taco, tostada.
Right.
I'm here for it.
Right. It's good, but you know what we do. You know how as Americans we like to bring all our cultures in and get a little bit of feel for all the ethnicity backgrounds. And honey, I tell you, and I think in another lifetime I was Mexican.
Okay,
and another one I was Chinese.
I'm rubbing off on these ladies.
Right, I swear, because to present at an event, at a party, and really good, and something that's familiar, very familiar to people, so they don't have to be like, what is this? You know, it's very familiar. You can get very creative with it. And speaking of creativity, you know, this is the part I love.
Okay, I'm here for it.
This is the part I love. This is the part you know, plan an event like we talked about on our other show. And I want to say it was show 7, but please don't quote me. That means you need to go back and find it. You need to go back and find it. So go back and check out the other shows. But we talked about, you know, how to put, you know, putting together an event and how to make a social event and a business event come together, okay? Well, this is a business that we have, and we're going to put together a social event. That's what we're going to do, okay? And I talked a lot about the importance of building the event to make it make sense. You know, a lot of people like to go backwards when they're building the event. They come up with this grand idea and all these things they want to do and where they want to have it. And then when it's time to start paying for stuff, they don't have enough money. Okay? You never ever want to go from the bottom up. Because then you get yourself stuck. Because now you have all these grand ideas that you want, you're set on it. A lot of times when your mind is set on something, that's the way you want to go. You know what I'm saying?
No reason with common sense.
Right. You know, and then you're like, dang, you got to take away all the stuff.
It sounds like you're taking everything away, but usually you're not. You're just really going from the top.
Right.
They went from the bottom
to the top. Exactly. Because there's always ways to maneuver around something. So say for instance you say, oh, you know, I want all of my glasses like we have here to be you know, custom. Right? So you come up with this beautiful idea, the glasses and everything, and then you realize that it comes a little bit over what you budgeted for that. When if you would have started from your budget and worked down, you would have knew
what you can maneuver.
Where I can maneuver. I can get these kind of glasses and have this done and put it together. Versus I want these and I want that. Exactly. You know. So the first thing you want to do after you come up with your show idea or your event idea is you want to come up with an estimated budget. And I say estimated because your budget can run lower than what you are expecting.
And that's always a good thing when you
hit your max. Hit your max. If you say I am absolutely undoubtedly comfortable with $1,500, that's your max. I'm comfortable with that. Your goal is now to come in under $1,500.
Yeah, you trying to carve fat off of that.
Exactly. That's your max. That lets you know that after you get through planning and you come up with $1,200 and you're done, you still have your $300 that you go with your
And I know on our show, that last time you told me why it's a better thing to have that little extra money, that little cushion, because sometimes you have more guests and you didn't expect that. So now you have that. But then if you're with us, Black Tea, we don't never run into that because you make sure they put the count, you even go above the count that they're gonna go. I ain't gonna put words in your mouth.
So if we say, oh, we're gonna plan for 150 people, no sir, we want to plan for 170. We're gonna plan for 170 because if 150 come, then we know we have enough to cover 170, so everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? You're never really gonna, if you plan for 150, you send out 150 invites, you're probably gonna get, you know, a little bit over, but you're not gonna come with an extra 20. You know what I'm saying? But you plan for just for that cushion. You get what I'm saying?
And or the other, even if it's not for that, maybe it can go more into the details. Maybe you can get
into the details. Exactly.
That's why I said really when I was saying the extra or just in case, it's already taken care of, really. So that's extra money. So basically, you can embellish a little bit.
So basically, this is what I'm gonna tell you. This is how my mind works. So we sit down and we say, ladies. So we say we're gonna do this event, right? We're gonna come up with the budget. I say for this event, for location, for food for our guests and things like that, we're gonna budget out. Let's just say $2,500. Okay. Let's say $2,500 for the weekend. I'm not saying that's what our budget's gonna be, but that's where we're about to put this together. So $2,500. Well, $2,500 is what our max budget is, but we're gonna work with $2,000. So when I start planning, I'm only planning with $2,000 in mind.
Okay.
That $500 is my cushion because 25 is my max.
Right. You're not
So that max, I'm not gonna max myself out
Right,
while I'm
yeah.
planning.
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm gonna say that my max is 25 because just in case my $2,000 is not enough, I've already planned for that
Okay.
extra $500.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So therefore, I already have my wiggle room in my budget.
Right.
And you don't have to go ask the person that you're planning for a little bit more money.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
But then you say it was 25.
Right.
And then, but the
Exactly.
other thing to that point too, the other flip side to that is know that when you do ask for extras, it's gonna cost more.
It's gonna cost more.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
because we
yeah.
already had a plan, the idea, we worked around your budget. This is where we came with the budget from. Then later on, you want to add stuff. You know what I mean? And sometimes even when you take away stuff, it doesn't necessarily go down.
It doesn't.
True. That's very true.
It doesn't.
Mhm.
So what you do is you know, we sit down, we come up with this budget. I say, okay, so if we're talking to a guest, so we're planning our event, but just say for instance we're talking to a client, and the client says, oh, you know what, my budget is $6,500. I say, okay. I said, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put together a package for you that's gonna total out to be $5,000. That other $1,500 is your wiggle room. So that's what you have. You have only $1,500 to play with after we sit down and go over your package.
Okay.
Because if I go and sit down and say, oh, you got $6,500, oh, we gonna max out this, then there's no wiggle room.
Right.
So we're gonna sit down and we're gonna write out
Fine tune, yeah.
$5,500. $5,000. Sorry, $5,000 of planning.
Okay.
$1,600 is our wiggle room because there's always going to be something that comes down the road.
Okay, so I have a question. So we're planning this, we're getting to the details, we have the idea, we have the budget. But in that budget is the cost for if you're paying,
Yes.
the services.
In that budget, you put everything. You put your admin services, which is the planners, pay fee. You put your vendor services.
Okay.
So basically, when we're going to sit down and we're going to plan this event, before I give you as a guest, as a client, we sit down and we come up with an idea. After we talk about your idea, that's where you get your show. You do your idea first.
Right.
You come with your idea. I then go back and I say, okay,
What can I do?
vendors. How much do I think vendors will cost?
Right.
How much do I think? It's all an estimated budget.
Okay.
Now, mind you, that's why you go with your max. It's
Right.
an estimated budget.
Right.
How much do I think vendors are going to cost? How much do I think this is going to cost?
Right. What is my fee?
They want to do it in this kind of location. You pull out 3 different locations that fits their ideas, and you give them a budget based on that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You go with the highest location, and your budget comes off of that. With the other two being a little bit lower, that's optional, okay? Because you want to give them, you want to have at least 3 options that you take to your client. You give them any more than 3 options, it becomes complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, it becomes complicated.
Yeah.
So unless they come to you and say, this is what I want, this is where I want, this is what I want to do, and I'm not going to change from that, you give them different options, 3 options only. So yes, and you put all of that, and then you go to them and say, okay, so this is what this is going to be. What's a comfortable budget for you? Based on what I'm telling you, based on what I'm giving you, what is what I think this might cost, what is a comfortable budget for you? From there, you take what you got, what you have, and that's where you start to do your maneuvering and fixing and changing and taking from Peter to pay Paul, and borrowing from Paul to pay Peter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where you start doing all of that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. At what point would you advise your client, or do you advise your clients to come up with a budget for a theme, or do you come up with it for them?
So the only time I have them come up with a budget for a theme is if they are going to do a planner in a box.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because with the planner in the box, we're not included.
Right.
So therefore, our fees are not included.
Okay.
So, and in the planner in the box, I really don't control your budget.
Right.
You do.
Yeah.
I give you ideas. I let you know where to go. After you give me you tell me what you want. I take 3 different ideas, put them together in a little box, and you tell me which idea makes more sense for you. Once you do that, I give it to you. It's up to you to control the money distribution, the visits, the everything else is on you. All I'm telling you to do, I'm walking you through it and I'm guiding you. The only thing, the only thing that we will have hands on with is sitting down at that first meeting and making sure that we're all on the same page so your plan in the box works. So that's exactly how, and the only reason why I would, not be involved in with their budgeting and all of that stuff like that is the plan in the box. So what that said is, okay, so we're planning this event. We have our budget. Our budget's $2,500 for the weekend. Okay, that includes our location, that includs the food that we're gonna have, and that includes any miscellaneous items that we need. And what I mean by decorations and things like that, right? For this type of event, guest count is not really a factor.
Okay.
Because
you're talking about for our event.
For our event.
Okay. So we're saying not a factor is supposed to be for the food because it's first come first serve.
It's first come first serve, right? Now, if I was going to, because we can't really say how many people are going to show up, because this is the first
thousands,
right?
Speaking into existence,
right. But from this event on, will give us an estimated idea of how many people come. So when you're planning an event of this type of event, where you're opening it up for people to just show up, you really can't, if you haven't done it before, you have no history to go on.
Right.
So you really can't go off, off of that. But if you're planning a private event where it's invites only, then that's where you go. Your guest count is a huge factor when it comes to putting together your event.
Okay.
Period.
Yes.
Okay. Period. Because most places, most events,
they have a capacity.
They have not only do they have a capacity, they do it per person.
Right.
Service per person.
Right.
So when you're sitting down to do your budget, and say, you're having a private event. I'm going about 150 people. Well, you know what?
It's by head and charging.
Right. So my advice would be to a lot of people say, okay, here's what you do. If you're trying to come up with a comfortable budget for you in your head when it comes to your guest count, just ask questions. Just call a couple places and say, or go online and say, hey, how much is it per person for this? Or go online and look. Use that as an estimated value.
And then
you times that by the amount of people that you're going to have. And you say, okay, so it should be about $200 for my guests, right? To eat. $250 for my guests to eat. You dig what I'm saying? You're adding about 2 more people on to that. Or however it's going to be. Always add on extra to that, so when you put that into your budget, it's comfortable. Because here's the thing. When you go to places and you're renting a facility, they always say, oh yeah, well if you purchase the food, the venue comes with it. But don't forget, they're tacking on linens. They're tacking on the rentals. They don't tell you that they're charging you for the rentals for your glasses, but the rentals for the glasses,
the chairs, the extra chairs they're bringing in.
All of that is added into that
divided per person.
And by the time you get to the end, right? Your $23 per person winds up being like $35 per person. It changes.
You really didn't want
to the type of food.
The type of food, always, always.
Right. Make it go up.
So people always say, so the event that we're doing, it's going to be kind of like a finger food thing, right? They always say, I'm going to do appetizers. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that because they think it's cheaper. Nuh-uh, baby. A full plated dinner is cheaper. Right. Because it's only
a set.
You don't have to worry about buying a whole bunch of
10 items
to bring it
together.
Exactly. Just like we talked about the last show. Go back and watch that last show, y'all. Y'all will love it. So when you're coming up with your guest count, that's how you want to look at your guest count. Now, when you're coming up with the guest count where you are the person providing the food, like if you're
at a venue where you can bring in food.
You want to make sure that you only have like 2 or 3 items at a time that you want to offer, and make sure, take a couple extra dollars, put it towards your buffet, and have somebody there to serve your guests.
Yes. Because that way you make sure you're not allocating per person.
Putting 2 servings on because they see a lot of it, and that's not in your budget.
And you think about it wasn't in your budget. You think about like this, you're doing a private event, you saying, I'm going to have 150 people, well, you still give yourself a per person fee.
Right.
You still give yourself, okay, so I'm only willing to spend $12 per person for them to eat. What? So you take that $12 per person, times that how many people, and that's what you go buy. Yeah. That's what you're shopping for. Right. Okay? So that's how you do it. And you don't go shopping for the most expensive thing because you say, oh, I have, $350 to spend. Well, you go and buy seafood, your $350 is probably going to half. Right. You gonna feed 75 people versus your 150. You want to be smart. Yeah. Right, you want to be smart about your buying. So you still give yourself a per person, thing. A lot of people don't do that. They just be shopping and you get to the event. Right. You get there at 10 o'clock and it started at 8 o'clock, but you won't have anything to eat because it's all gone because they say, oh, well, whoever come, whoever gets some, whoever don't.
And like you said, that goes back to when you're planning it for yourself and you're buying, the food yourself. You end up putting more money in. Your wiggle room money is all in your food, and you didn't even plan it because you didn't do it per person.
Exactly. So do it per person. Mm-hmm. So for this event that we're going to do, we're not going to do it per person only because this will be on a first come first serve basis, and it's going to be advertised that way because it is a social networking marketing event. So it's primarily for people to come there and connect and communicate. It's really not so much to come eat, but we will have the live music. We're going to have libations.
Libations?
Yeah, libations. Libation. Drinks, cocktails and all things like this. So more like a cocktail kind of, atmosphere around everything. But we still want to make sure people come and can feel, feel like we're family. Feel
right.
Feel, all that good stuff. So we'll have a little bit of something to take on. So we will set our own budget for that. So within our $2,500, a certain amount of that's going to go towards food.
I got a question. Is there an etiquette on how long when you have an open public and first come first serve, like how long the food should last, or how much food are we supposed to really buy at that time so that it lasts, or what is that?
There's really not an etiquette towards it, but most times when you have an event that's like that, it's always going to be advertised where food will be served between 2 and 4 o'clock.
Put the time on it.
So people don't feel like either
they missed it, or they didn't have enough.
Or you're sitting there with an empty space full of dishes and stuff because you're trying to wait for the last few people to come through and grab the last few things off. No. If whatever's there between 1 and 4, you come get it. And then at 4 o'clock,
you put a time.
You put a time frame on it.
Yeah. You're not expected to have it all night.
That's good to me. I was like, wait.
It makes sense.
There's times that I've been to places, but usually they do have a time limit. Especially like if it's Taco Man. He only there for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Right.
Or whatever the case is.
Because he's getting paid up front, he's just going to serve for that, and then that's it. So the Taco Man is probably budgeting for time-wise versus budgeting for people-wise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not a Taco Man. I don't know how they really do it, but that's how I will do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've seen them where they ask you your count.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Even for an event like this, I still kind of want to put a guesstimate.
That's what you said. You always still got to have a guess count.
Yeah. Even if you got to know how to prepare, how much you prepare. Right. So you have an estimate, but even with that being said, even though he knows that if there's a certain amount of people, and it may be an open event, a public event, but it's still going to be served between a certain time, and whatever runs out during that time is what it runs out.
Yeah, exactly. So, exactly, because you always have those people that's going to come back 2, 3 times. You be like, really?
I need something for my baby, and my man, he coming too. He over there.
Yeah. 2, 3 times, all that stuff like that.
I'm guilty of that. Shut up. Damon, they come and let me get my husband his plate.
Right. But here's the thing too, though, guys. When you're planning a private event and you are and you're serving food and you invite your guests to come, here's the one thing. I know my mother-in-law is like, every time she has a party or something, people are like, oh, I want to take some. Yeah, she be like, go talk to Michelle, because I do not do foil paper and plates.
Oh yeah.
I do not do foil paper and plates. That's why I like serving on real plates, because you can't take my dang plates out of here. And the reason why is because I'm inviting you to my party. I'm not asking you to bring that.
This ain't a slumber party. You don't get to take some food home with you. This ain't a light family potluck.
And then not only that, sometimes people come pack up for their whole goddamn family at home. I'm like, look here, I love you, babies.
Yeah, because maybe you want to those leftovers.
Right. I didn't plan on feeding the babies. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got takeaway stuff, that's totally different.
Right, but don't bring it upon yourself.
Right.
Asking me where my
And that's
at.
what messes with your budget as well.
Okay.
Because if you're planning something, and say for instance, I get there before you do. Now I'm packing up all this food from Lynn's party because I'm taking it home with me by the time Candace get here, and Candace was planned to be there.
Right.
But whoever's at my house wasn't planned to be there.
Right.
My lunch for the next day wasn't planned to be there. So Candace comes, she was planned for, so she was
don't
in
have
my
no
budget.
food.
She don't have no food. That's because I didn't took it all.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see that food.
She gonna get beat up in the parking lot, y'all.
Excuse me.
Right.
I think you got my 17 in your bag.
I'm paying for how many pennies you pay for?
Right. So that's why, you know, it's always
It's an etiquette to that. I mean, you know, and that's when you gotta know what kind of crowd you bring in.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes when you open it to the public, you don't know.
You don't know.
I love to know for
That's
you.
why-
I like to know for you.
Yeah.
I like that part.
That
And I like
no
that,
paper.
that hard plate.
Yes, honey.
You got a paper? No, I don't.
I do not.
Okay, so hard plates. I'm glad you brought it up because you know, like you said, it is a nicer presentation. It does eliminate people asking for you to pack up on a paper plate. But what happens when people accidentally break it? Because accidents happen.
Now,
Do you put it into your budget because you have fine plates?
so if you have a client that is requesting for you to use real dishes,
Okay.
you absolutely.
Okay.
I have an equipment contract.
Okay.
So in that equipment contract, it tells you how much each individual plate will cost, and it tells cups or whatever you're buying, and anything that happens, this is the money that you're going to pay.
I'm going to respond from you.
Right. So I'm gonna get your deposit of
X amount of
dollars.
Okay, got
The
it.
X amount of dollars basically covers incidental. So you do half of what it will cost for your equipment rental. So say for instance the equipment rental was $250.
Okay.
Well, $175 of that is going to go towards your deposit, but you still need to pay me $250 to rent everything. But
That's
I
right.
need a deposit of $150. That deposit will come back to you if my equipment comes back to me.
Right,
One
one piece.
piece.
In all
Exactly.
counts of my plate,
Exactly.
all counts of my
No
forks,
shit.
and my got you.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Exactly. So within a week you will have your deposit back if everything is is good.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So absolutely you incorporate that. That's in your admin costs. All of that goes in the admin cost.
Okay.
When you do an event like we're doing, we're not gonna have real dishes.
I'm not even do that. It's open to the public. The public don't walk me beyond.
Yeah. Sometimes you can probably get away with it, but that's where you have to be able to occur. You have to be willing to incur the cost of that. So if my dishes come up broken,
It's on you.
it's just on me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But for certain things, like something like this, I probably wouldn't do it. If it was something a little bit more intimate, I would do it, smaller.
Right.
Even though it's even if it is a social networking environment. If it's more intimate, I would do it.
Right.
But for
That
something
makes
like this,
sense.
I think we should just go with the, disposable,
nicer-
very nice
Right.
disposable plate. You know, they have those new biodegradable ones. They look really nice. Look like nice little wooden plates, but they throw it. Have you seen those?
I have not
Very
seen
nice.
the wooden ones.
Yeah, very nice.
I need to see
So
that.
I think that would be good. So again, your guest count definitely makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference on how your budget, wavers. Which way you want to go with your budget and all of that good stuff. Because without that, you're gonna be like
Be all over it. Chicken with your head.
cut off.
All
Right?
the
Like fish
way
out of
off.
water, honey. Trying to figure out what's supposed to happen, what's supposed to go down. So.
Disaster.
Right. And we kind of we touched on food a little bit. Food of course is definitely a big thing. Again, like we just talked about,
Per
making
person.
sure you do a per person.
And then go over.
And then
over
go
that.
over that. Always
Sure.
add for more, and then put that into your budget.
And then hors d'oeuvres versus plated food.
Right, exactly. And if you have questions about, stuff like that before you really come up with the budget, sit down with your event manager, let us know what you kind of have an idea for. We can either grab an estimate for you from different caterers because we're going to present you with different caterers.
Right.
You're going to grab an estimate for different caterers so you can get an idea, or because Black Tea is a one-stop shop, if you would like what we have, then we're going to say, we can get you, this is what we offer, we can get you this. Take a look at it and let us know. You know what I'm saying? Because we can take any menu and custom it for you based on this
Your
total
needs.
amount.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so once you get down and get done with, talking about your show, your event idea or theme. You come up with your budget. Make sure you are very reasonable about the location.
Okay.
For what it is that you're trying to do, and take advice from other people. Even though you have your heart set on something. Take advice from other people. I'm an event manager, but when I get ready to do an event somewhere, I'm gonna ask, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think about this? Just like I was asking, I asked you guys, like, what do you think about this? What about this? And help me find something because I don't know everything, but. Excuse me, even though my Rolodex of what I do have can possibly present something, what you have might be even better. So be open to taking, advice and
be open-minded
from your what your event is gonna look like.
Yes.
Don't be so heart set on because
location.
You need to be able to
wiggle room.
Yeah, and now people look at pictures. They look at pictures on the internet and pictures on you, and they see how somebody's thing is decorated.
Yeah.
And like, oh, this is what I want. This is what I want.
Right.
But if your budget don't match theirs, it's not gonna look like that. It's not gonna look like that. Your budget has to match their budget.
You got beer budget on champagne.
Right. But then don't think that because you choose this location versus this location. It's gonna make it look better. It's gonna make it look better. You can make a small location look just as good as a larger location. Right. You know what I'm saying? And probably even better.
Yeah.
Right. Probably even better.
Absolutely. Because you don't have to have so much space to fill up.
Right. The smaller, the less stuff you have to put in there.
Absolutely.
You don't have to,
because when it's so big, you gotta fill up.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, what we gonna put in that corner?
And that's where all those accents and stuff come in at. You know what I'm saying? The small little trinkets here and there, balloons and flowers and draperies, or I'm the whole room with draperies. I need these huge centerpieces because in a really big room,
you gotta fill it up. Make it look nice.
So now we need real big centerpieces. We need a lot of tables to fill it up. We need a lot of accents.
It has to get very elaborate.
It has to be.
Make the event space cater to the occasion you're having.
Yes. Don't let the look of something take you there, and then you be like, oh well.
And all your money's going towards the building.
I'm telling you.
To the accents. Yeah,
to the building.
I'm telling you.
Right.
And it's funny that you bring that up because I had a client that got married a couple of years ago. She was a referral from a friend of ours. Okay. She came to me and told me that she had a $1,500 budget. No, $3,000 budget. Sorry, $3,000 budget.
Okay.
I said,
She was doing a wedding?
Yeah.
Okay.
$3,000 budget. I said, oh, okay, that's good. She said, but I already got my location. I said, oh, okay, so $3,000, you got your location, that's good. She came back to me, and after I put together the package, we met again, we went and sat down, and she said, and I laid out everything, and I took away $500, so she had a $2,500 budget.
Okay.
We had a $500 wiggle room, okay? Oh no, the money for the facility is coming out of that budget.
And you want me to work with what then?
So $2,200 was the money for the facility.
No, I do that very well.
They don't have
$300. What's she gonna do with the $300 for what we just talked about? Because now she got the ID and she got her location.
Well, so she had actually.
She don't have no money for the food. She haven't gave you your account. People. Yeah. She needs to
Then she went from 100 people. I said, you can't get 100 people off this. So I said, okay. She was a referral from a friend. So what I did was I said, okay.
You know what we're gonna do? Okay.
Here's what we're gonna do. I showed her pictures from my wedding, and I said, this is the colors of my wedding, which practically matches the colors of your wedding.
Okay.
I said, you can cut costs of rental of your equipment, of your linens, and I will rent you mine for less.
Right.
Okay, so we cut the cost of that,
Because you have colors.
and we used my linens for my wedding. Okay. Then the centerpieces that I came up with originally went out the door because I'm like, you can't get that from what we're working with.
Yeah.
So we had to scale it down and use some of the centerpieces with some of the little things I used at my wedding. I still had a lot of them left for her, and used it and just bought a few little things to add to it.
Okay.
Then we used all of my dishes, my shapers, I said, well, what about your caterer? You know, who's gonna do the food? Oh, I thought you did. I said, now here, I'm a caterer too, yes, but you can't give me.
You can't pull a rabbit out of a hat. I mean, this is not what's happening right
Trying
here.
to go back. First of all, I had to help them shave down some money on the facility. I went back to the facility. I talked to the lady, and I got her to shave off $400 from the total
You telling me
cost.
she didn't negotiate?
Okay, no, they went in there and just.
Okay. This is what I want. Like you telling us not to do.
Right.
Don't go with your
Fake
first
it.
idea.
Yeah.
Three
So I had to
places
shave,
in mind.
yeah,
We'll go
shave
there.
that down. Okay. And I said, okay, so, but you have the money for your DJ, your photographer, and the minister. All this. She's like, oh, well, I have the money for the DJ.
Of course she does.
I said, what about your photographer and your minister? Oh, well, that's, I was hoping that came out of the budget. So, well, do you have your photographer and your minister? Oh, no, I don't have it. I said, oh, now here's the thing. As an event manager, I can help you get whatever you need. But your facilitator is not going to be a personal person for you. It's going to just be somebody they don't know you. So it's either you choose somebody you don't know or you find your own. She's like, well, I don't have you. That's okay, so we'll find you somebody. Well, that's too much. I said, well, look, this is what you get when you pick somebody that you don't know. They're not going to give you a deal.
Right.
But she thought she was going to be able to get a deal because she was referred to somebody through somebody I know. So it doesn't work like that. So listen, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to basically help you plan your wedding with everything that I have at my house from my wedding. I said, so therefore, you're practically about to pay me nothing to do this wedding for you. And now you don't even have money for your minister.
Well, you don't even have money for the things that
you
want.
Right. I said, I got $400 shaved off your thing.
That should have been your fee.
I said, so now, we need to, So we had to come up with all this, I had to literally make magic happen. And then on top of everything, she didn't even get everything she wanted because the facility didn't pretty much
She didn't ask anything. She just went in there and said, this is the place I want to have.
Because she was fixated on the
and she couldn't get her
Yeah.
deposit back. Because I was like, honey, we could have did
This
this.
right
We could have
here.
did that. And she was like, oh. I said, that's why you never
Put money
ever,
down till you know
ever
for sure.
Exactly.
Because once you put your deposit down, it's a done deal.
Right. So I was like, I told her, I don't even have the money to hire a team to come and help me. So basically, I'm doing this all by myself.
Well, you did it for free.
So I enlisted my stepmother and I enlisted my daughter, and they went out there and they helped me.
Wow.
But if I didn't have them,
Right.
so I said, where do you want to get your food from? She told me, Pollo Loco. Now, I don't judge nobody.
Crazy chicken, huh?
I don't judge anybody.
I mean, it's good.
If that's what you want, that's what you want. I said, really? A Pollo Loco? And so I said, well, for what your guest count is, this is how much your Pollo Loco is going to be. And so she was like, oh. I said, so you need to add more money. She said, well, all I could add was another $500. I said, well, you're not going to get a Pollo Loco. So I said, what's your other favorite food? Oh, I like Panda. So we went from a Pollo Loco to Panda Express and cut down from 100 people to 60.
She better be lucky she got married.
Now here's the thing. We found a minister. Here's the thing. We set the food up. The place was supposed to come with the working oven. The oven wasn't working. So I tried to heat the stuff up with the burners. Yep.
And certain things you just can't
And certain
heat up
things you
like
just can't heat up like that. So it didn't get all the way hot. I was so disappointed at the fact that everything that she was telling me was supposed to happen before she gave me the opportunity to go in and figure it out.
And that's the thing too. Don't unless you're 100% sure, unless you have enough money. When you work on a budget, you need to shop around and before you put any money down, because then don't come back to somebody else after you didn't put the money down and expect them to clean up. It's hard to do at that point.
Now, and here's the funny thing about it.
You did, but
I literally did the hugest favor ever because my fee by itself was $1,500.
Right.
That's half your budget.
Yeah.
So I practically did a favor.
way more than
Well, no, way more than that.
Not
only did you waive
all
your
your
fee,
stuff.
realistically,
I raised my fee.
you saved for the cost on the rentals of X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
So she would have had to pay double that. You know what I mean?
And I kept telling her, she kept saying, well, I can get some extra money. I said, honey, I can do you a planner in a box. and you can, you know, I can tell you what to do and you can do it yourself. I don't have the time, I don't have the people to help me, I don't have this. I was like,
sound like you need to go to court.
so, you know, I left it alone and I said, you know, the Lord has blessed me with, you know, things, and I said, you know, so I'm going to help this young lady out.
You got your blessings
But,
forward.
you know, be realistic about what you want, what you have to offer, and what you want to do.
And if you can't do it now, I suggest just within save a little bit.
Yeah, you know,
happen in the next year.
Yeah.
You know, instead of doing it in a hurry.
That's why your budget is so important. Don't ever, 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 ever go out there, start buying and putting deposits down without knowing how much money you actually have to spend. You know, because then her wedding was kind of plain. She had linens in the centerpiece. Because those small little accents that add to it helps. But oh no, here's the other thing. She wanted to give away
party favors.
I said, okay. I literally took 100 chargers and put her wedding date and all that on them and put them for each of her guests to take home. Her family were like, oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, well, I'm gonna just take these anyway. I'm gonna take everything. I said, you're not gonna take these centerpieces because they belong to me. Because she didn't buy it.
She didn't purchase any. She rented those. Oh, when you rent stuff, pay for it. So she didn't rent those. She borrowed them.
You know what I'm saying? So just
that was her something borrowed that day.
I guess so. You gotta be real. And it was blue too. It was something borrowed and
She had two in one right there.
Just be realistic.
When you look at that to say that, just be quiet. All right, I'll be quiet.
Don't sit there. Yeah.
You gotta be realistic about it. Make sure that you are smart about how you're planning
to avoid being in
that situation.
I'm
You know,
I feel bad now that she got with you because
nobody else would make it happen like that.
I mean, and not only that, I had to beg the people to let the wedding go on because, honey, her husband and his groomsmen party came to the wedding drunk.
Oh yeah,
and you can't be under the influence, intoxicated at all at this place. And the security was like, oh no, we got to shut it. I was like, please don't shut this ladies' wedding. I was like, we'll keep them under control. I had to tell her family, like, look, I don't know these people, so you're gonna need to keep these gentlemen under control because they're ready to shut this wedding down now.
Poor that was
okay. So just be realistic about what you want. If you want liquor and beverages at make sure you're at a location that allows it. You know, all of that. Put all of that in factor and make sure you put everything out on the table. Don't hold anything back.
And then come with something afterwards and thinking you're supposed to make it
exactly.
Because the average person is not the planner. Manager is not gonna forfeit their fees.
I'll tell you this much. Right now, that would not happen.
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, been there, done that.
I wouldn't do that. Exactly. That experience alone let me know that, you know, even though you go the extended mile to help somebody, sometimes they don't appreciate it. Because she actually said, well, it was so plain. I said, well, I broke everything down for her. And she couldn't say anything else.
She better be lucky that she didn't grab these like this and do the whole magic trick.
Girl, she was already performing magic. She
sister and put some, not even linen, but some
plastic tablecloths. Honey, you know I know. But I sure would have did.
And then not only that, but I bet you, I know she didn't come back and just, like really mentally, because you already, what you seeing that she complained or said, it was a little plain.
It was so plain. It wasn't good.
I mean, but
what did you want for the money you gave me?
Right. That's what
I was like, I didn't even pay myself. So what did you want? I said, you used all of my stuff from my wedding, and if I didn't have those colors, what were you gonna do? What were you gonna do? You know,
put that deposit and change the date for the following year. Like I said,
I'm telling you. And I asked her, I said, do you have any wiggle room on your date? She said, no, because I wanted to get married. It was like, it was 12, 13, 14. You know what I'm saying?
I know those kind of dates.
Exactly. So just make sure that when you guys are planning your event, you have all the information you want, all the details that you want, and go over it with your event manager. So for our event that we're going to do, that's coming up October 13th, we're going to make sure that we have our budget. We're going to make sure that we have all the little fine details in order. So when we come back on the next show, we're definitely going to let you guys know exactly what the next step is and where we are in the planning. So that way you can see the progress all the way up until the date. You know, I thank you guys so much for joining us today. This was an awesome show today. I think it was a lot educational as far as like getting an event together and planning it. You know, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this channel down below. Please make sure you hit like. I know you guys are watching us, but make sure you hit like so we can know that you like what you're seeing. Leave a comment if you don't. If you have any questions or would like the recipe for the our brunch item that we have today, please let us know. You can hit us up on blackteacomplete.com or events_at_blacktea on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram so you can make sure you know when our events are coming up and where they're going to be and what's going on. I thank you guys so much for always supporting us and tuning in to us every Sunday at 12 Pacific Standard Time. And until next time, let's connect and let's network.